know our first guest from films such as Hitman, Anyone But You, Everyone Wants Some, and Top Gun Maverick. He stars in Twisters, which is in theaters and IMAX this Friday. Please welcome to the show, Glen Powell, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm so happy you're here.
First time with you, man.
First time having you here, and this is a very exciting, Twister is a very exciting reason to have you. Now, we were talking to your co-star, Daisy Edgar-Jones, last night. She grew up in England. She never saw a Twister. She never saw a tornado.
No.
You grew up in Austin, Texas. Did you ever see one?
You know, when I was 9 years old, there was a big tornado, F5 tornado, that came through Gerald, Texas. So we were on my way to my aunt's ranch, and I was caught in a pretty close to the tornado with my aunt driving, car full of cousins, and you know, we made it out. We were totally fine, but actually there's a bit in a rodeo scene that ends up making it in where I kind of talk about that event.
Wow, really? Now, as a 9-year-old, when you see a tornado, is there any part of you is like, yeah? Or is it all like, oh?
No, I think that's literally what we were kind of talking about is like you're first kind of like fascinated, and then when you see an adult scared,
yeah,
you kind of are like,
right,
oh,
yeah.
maybe I should be scared. And yeah, but that's kind of the beauty of Twisters. Like, it's a really beautiful movie, but it's you know, it's kind of a mix of fascination of this beauty, but also terror.
I do understand. I mean, I know it sounds crazy that you see a tornado, but again, like, they are insane. And when they start forming, you must be like, no, this is going to be one of the nice ones.
Sort of like relationships, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's only later when your friends are like, could you not tell?
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone knew she was a tornado.
Yeah.
I just thought
she's
she was
gonna
a
take
pretty
everything,
cloud.
man.
I
Yeah.
just thought she was a pretty cloud. Also mentioned Texas. You were a big Longhorn fan.
I am.
I've seen you on ESPN College Game Day. You like showing up. How, in a perfect year, how many home games would you go to?
Well, you know, I got a pretty crazy fall. I'm going to be in London. I've already sort of like soft pitched our director, Edgar Wright, on Running Man, that I'm going to be bouncing from London to Texas games in Austin. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, London not known for their Longhorn bars.
Yeah. They don't really get it, but you know, Texas, Georgia is one I really want to.
So you have it circled on the calendar.
I got a couple: Texas OU, Texas, Georgia.
Gotcha. And now, is this something? Did you grow up? Was your family Longhorn fans? Was this something you came to on your own, or did you inherit it?
You know, my grandparents were Longhorns, my parents, my sister, cousins. So I come from a long line of Longhorn fans, and you know, one of my greatest memories, we won the national championship in 2005, and you know, I almost got arrested for dancing on top of a car in Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a crime every other day except national championship night.
yeah, exactly.
Like there's a weird window.
Yeah,
where...
there's a loophole.
Yes.
It's like The Purge, but with
right. But with dancing on cars. This is a great summer movie, and I think it like echoes back to the kind of summer movies that I grew up with. You were also, we were talking backstage, you were in one of my favorite end of summer movies, which is this great Richard Linklater film called Everybody Wants Some, 2016. And this is just guys, end of the summer, college baseball team right before school starts. And it is one of the chillest, most enjoyable films I've ever watched.
It's literally, I don't know anybody that's watched this movie who doesn't love it.
I think that's true, yeah.
It's one of the best. If you haven't watched it, Everybody Wants Some. Richard Linklater, who did Boyhood and Dazed and Confused, School of Rock. You know, that was Hitman. Yeah, we wrote Hitman. Yeah, let's not Hitman. Yes. Thank you.
I will say, you just told me more about yourself than anything by the fact that you literally listed 9 of his movies and not the one you did with him this year.
Totally.
You're either the most humble guy or you're terrible promotion.
Yeah, you're totally. It's a real space cadet. Yeah. You know, actually, it's so funny. My mom and dad are here. My mom got to do a cameo in Everybody Wants Some. She plays Marge the lunch lady.
Okay.
And she just had dental surgery.
Okay.
And so she had like her front tooth was not real.
Okay.
She could kind of flip her. She could like kind of take it in and out.
Yeah.
And so I pitched it to Rick. I said, hey, Rick, you know, if my mom's gonna play Marge the lunch lady, you know, there was always a lunch lady that had like a fake tooth or a missing tooth. I was like, what if my mom just takes out the front tooth and like kind of serves us like, you know, sloppy Joe or something? He's like, oh, okay, I can kind of like that. And I was like, all right, Mom, can you show him the tooth thing? And she takes out the tooth. He goes, whoa, that is way too much. She had all her teeth in the movie. Yeah.
Now, it should be noted, this was not, your parents have done multiple cameos in your films.
Yeah, they've pretty much been in everything I've done since Spy Kids 3. Yeah.
That's amazing. And is this something that, do you feel like the force behind them being on camera is you wanting them to be on camera or them wanting to be on camera?
No.
Did they like show up at Spy Kids 3 and they're like, we're kind of like a package deal?
You know, it's funny. Yeah, they got to be like adult spies in Spy Kids 3, and then after that, you know, obviously they're kind of on every set, and you know, they got to be like professors in this show I did called Jack and Bobby, and then you know, but they would just come to every single thing that I did, and then soon enough, it just sort of became kind of just a really fun Easter egg thing, and now it's kind of a requirement. Now it's sort of a lot of baggage. It's a lot to deal with. I don't know, yeah.
They want script approval.
It's a lot. My mom's really wanting the "that's what she's I'll have what she's having" line.
Oh, she wants one of those. Well, that is, right?
I got to get her that. So if anybody's watching, yeah.
I actually have more questions about your parents. We'll be right back with Glenn after this.